How is it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store is running its DEALMANIA sale, and I've got some deals under the price of $20. Yes, a little bit heftier in price than our typical videos of under 10, under 5, but sometimes you gotta look at the more expensive games, and hopefully you guys are getting your tax returns. You got a couple dollars to spend. You can, splurge a little bit on the more pricey titles. With that being said, got quite a few games to go over here, so let's just get right into it, and let's kick things off with The Walking Dead. The Telltale Definitive Series is $12.49. This gets you Walking Dead Seasons 1 through 4, the Michonne miniseries, and 400 Days, the miniseries as well. It's a lot of content for your dollar, and I would highly recommend it. Even though Walking Dead certainly does peak with Season 1, the subsequent seasons are still good. This isn't a case of the game just falls off a cliff after Season 1. It's still really, really good the whole way through. And Season 2 in particular is really, really strong on top of that. But Season 1, special place deep down in my soul as far as, I remember playing that game as it was coming out, and it was a roller coaster of emotions, to say the least. So 75% off, $12.49 on that. Next up, here's an underrated sleeper. A lot of you guys might not know about this one, but Long Gone Days is 40% off for $14.99. I played this on PC, and I really, really enjoyed it. I actually probably will do another playthrough of this on PlayStation at some point. I say that, but there's like a million games to do another playthrough of. I don't know if Long Gone Days is gonna... I would like to do another playthrough, get some trophies, you know what I'm saying? But I really enjoyed Long Gone Days. Had a really, really solid, soothing soundtrack to it. Even though the story is, pretty serious, and this is a narrative-heavy game, the writing, I would say, is quite good. Love the throwback visual style. Like I said, the soundtrack, chef's kiss. I really did like this game, and for $15, a little bit on the pricier side, but, games like this, these lower-key releases, sometimes just hold up in price for a while, and if you want them, you just buy them, but, yeah, $15 on it, I would say check that one out. Next up, we have Absolum, 20% off for $19.99. This game just came out, so obviously still holding it in price a little bit, and it just got a pretty notable free update. So this is a game that I had been aware about for quite a while, but I really took notice of it once people were coming down with their Game of the Year awards and their personal Game of the Year list, not like the video game awards, but their personal list, and so many people I respected had Absolum really high up in their Game of the Year recommendations and games that they really enjoyed, which made me definitely be like, okay, I gotta play more of that at some point. It's a beat-em-up title that if you're a fan of the classics, you'll probably really enjoy, and shout out to .emu. .emu has honestly been one of my favorite developers and publishers in all of gaming right now because they have an identity. You know what they're all about, and you know kind of what their mission is, and their mission is paying love letters to classic beat-em-ups and the classic titles as well. Some of the titles they've done, like Streets of Rage 4, so on and so forth, have just been so well done in terms of the style of games that they are and what they're paying respect to, and I think Absolum, for that criteria, does it really well as well. If you're a fan of that throwback beat-em-up, you'll probably enjoy it quite a lot. $19.99 on that. Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Anniversary Edition, 67% off for $16.49. I know Starfield's coming out on PlayStation here shortly. Maybe you want to check out that, but let's be honest, Skyrim's a better game, even though the difference in release timing between Skyrim and Starfield is 12 years, and without a doubt, Skyrim is the stronger game. And guess what? Skyrim had a 3-year turnaround from the previous Bethesda title in Fallout 3. How long did Starfield have? Oh, 8 years in between major single-player games. So, sometimes the classics still hold up. True, Skyrim is still an all-time great game, one of my favorite games of all time, and man, I haven't done a playthrough of Skyrim in a long time. We gotta go back and give that game a playthrough. There's just so many games to replay. And the second that Rockstar drops that Red Dead 2 upgrade, it's another one. Skyrim's been a playthrough I've wanted to do again for a while now. It's just a lot on anyone's plate, but a good problem to have. Skyrim all-time classic, $16.49 on that is great. Ninja Gaiden the Master Collection, 50% off for $19.99. This includes Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. I really like the Ninja Gaiden games. Obviously, these 3 titles will show their age quite a bit at this point. However, I still think they're worthwhile games to play. Now, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 did have an upgraded release in Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. However, that version of the game still goes for like $25, $30 on sale, which I think is a little bit too hefty. Here you get the Master Collection. You get all 3 games. Well, I say all, but obviously not the fourth game, but you get the first three games, and you get it for $19.99. That's a pretty damn good deal for all of the content you're getting, and Ninja Gaiden's a really, really fun time, albeit, you know, janky camera work aside, you can have some fun with Ninja Gaiden for sure. $19.99 can pick up there. Another collection of 3 titles, Assassin's Creed, the Ezio collection is $11.99. Some of the Assassin's Creed game price points in this sale are, like, just egregious, so, Ezio collection here is a pretty good one. Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations. If you're around my age, those games are so important to you. If you're in your late 20s, early 30s, maybe even a little bit older than that, you probably grew up playing the Assassin's Creed 2 trilogy, and man, I still love these games. I did a playthrough of AC2 not too long ago. I'd like to play through everything. It's just, you know, sometimes I have a little bit of a quiet period where I can sit down and replay some of these classics of my youth, and, you know, other times, you got a billion games coming out. It is what it is. But yeah, AC2 is great. Brotherhood leaned a little bit on the easy side, but I still really enjoyed it, and Revelations is a really great game as well, albeit by Revelations, I was like, alright, Ezio, I've had my fix of you, you can skedaddle on out of here, but, you know, them adding the Altair aspect with Revelations, I think, added another layer to it, and Ezio's still goated, man. Look, I'll take 84 games with Ezio before I take some of the charisma vacuums like Ivor out of today's games, you know what I'm saying? So, no complaints, actually, as far as Ezio getting a third game. It's just, back in 2011, I was like, alright, yo, maybe I'm ready for a new character, but nonetheless, Ezio's goated, $11.99 on that is great. Yeah, the Blasphemous 1 and 2 bundle, $11.24 on this is really great. Now, Blasphemous 2 is available for $9.89, but if you haven't played either game, I mean, getting the bundle for both, a pretty good deal. The Miracle Summons You Sinner, the bundle includes both of the indie smash hits, Blasphemous 1 and 2. In Blasphemous 1, you are introduced to the Penitent One, a sole survivor of the Massacre of the Silent Sorrow, and in Blasphemous 2, you wake up from your tomb to a strange new world and once again enter an endless struggle against the Miracle. Both titles available for $11.24, good pickup there. Another trilogy pack of games, Crysis Remastered Trilogy, is $12.49. The initial price point of this trilogy was just way too high. It released at $50, and it was just like, alright, buddy, nobody's paying $50 on that. But at $12.49, I will say this is a damn good deal, and these 3 games are great. I would say Crysis 1 is really good. Crysis 2 is my favorite. I know some people love Crysis 1 the best. I loved Crysis 2. Crysis 3, I'm mixed on. I still think it's an okay game, but definitely not at the level of Crysis 2. But the whole collection for $12.49, I think is great. Unfortunate that Crysis 4 has been benched, but what can you do? These things happen, so, you know, there you go with that, $12.49. Danganronpa 1 and 2 Reload, 70% off for $11.99. If you know me, you know I love Danganronpa. I played Danganronpa 1 on the PlayStation Vita when it came out, and I really didn't know what to expect going into it. I just heard a podcast I was listening to at the time rave about the game, and I was like, you know what? Respect their opinion. Let's go check out Danganronpa 1. Boy, oh boy, I was hooked on this game. Danganronpa 1, that is. For a couple days just beating the game, and couldn't get off my Vita at that point. And the game's like 22 hours long, if I remember correctly. Like, it's a fairly lengthy game, and narratively, man, and you gotta remember, this game is very much focused on the narrative. It's a visual novel, but narratively, it hooks you within the first, you know, 30 to 45 minutes of the game. It's tremendous in that regard. Soundtrack is incredible, and while I'm gushing about Danganronpa 1, Danganronpa 2 is the better game, in my opinion. You just have to play Danganronpa 1 to get the most out of Danganronpa 2, but Danganronpa 2 is phenomenal as well. I know Danganronpa 2x2 is coming out, but that's going to be $60, and, you know, I would still say 1 and 2 Reload is worthwhile picking up. Tactics Ogre Reborn, 60% off for $19.99. I know when it comes to Square Enix Tactics games, most of the attention is now going to be on Final Fantasy Tactics: The Evil East Chronicles. However, Tactics Ogre is still a good time and a decent pickup. It is brutally challenging, though. Like, Tactics Ogre pushed me to my limit in terms of almost breaking a controller. Like, Tactics Ogre was pushing me pretty damn far. I did enjoy the game ultimately. Love the visual style, and the setting of the game I thought was really well done. $19.99 is a good pickup. It's just, again, brutally difficult is Tactics Ogre. Sonic Colors Ultimate, 70% off for $11.99. A very enjoyable Sonic title. This came out in an era where Sonic was so inconsistent, so even though Sonic Colors ended up being one of the better titles, it had its issues, and it still didn't stand out to an immense degree, but I would say Sonic Colors is one of those games that's worthwhile to play. I love the theme song of this game as well, and at this price point, I think it's a good pickup. Psychonauts 2, 80% off for $11.99, a game that I think a lot of people never really expected to see, but it finally came out, combining quirky missions and mysterious conspiracies. Psychonauts 2 is a platform adventure game with cinematic style and tons of customizable psychic power. Psychonauts 2 serves up danger, excitement, and laughs in equal measure as players guide Raz on a journey through the minds of friends and foes on a quest to defeat a murderous psychic villain. That is available for $11.99. If you're a fan of charming platformers, one you'll probably enjoy. Then we have Live Alive, 60% off for $19.99, another Square Enix JRPG, an underrated one in my opinion. Live Alive is a pretty interesting game. It initially came out as a Super Famicom title and never came out stateside. Then it was, upgraded in this HD 2D version, came out on the Switch, but then finally released on PlayStation 5 as well. And like I said, interesting style as far as a JRPG goes. You have these different campaigns of these different characters in different eras, and they all come together, and it's really well done by the end of it. Different gameplay styles with the different campaigns as well. I really enjoyed the game. For $19.99, it's a different kind of JRPG, and one that I think will be a breath of fresh air in terms of the layout of the game to a lot of people. So $19.99 on that, pretty good pickup there. Then we do have Sword and Fairy Together Forever. If you're a Plus subscriber, you get this for $9.99. Non-Plus subscribers will get it for $13.99, which is still a pretty good deal. Visually, one of the most stunning games that you're gonna come across. It's really kind of wild that a game that doesn't get that much attention is actually one of the best looking games on the entire PlayStation 5. But nonetheless, it notes 30 hours of gameplay, narrative focus as well, fight in real time, and switch teams as well. $9.99 for that if you're a Plus subscriber, $13.99 if you're not. And then lastly, we do have the GRIS and Neva bundle, $14.99 for Plus subscribers, $16.49 for non-Plus subscribers. The price of this game is carried by Neva, which just came out. Neva also got prequel DLC recently. These games are gorgeous from a visual standpoint. GRIS is one of those games that I always recommend to people that want a game that's a little bit more emotionally moving. I think it's an incredible game. Neva's incredibly well received as well. So both the titles for $16.49 or $15 with a Plus subscription, I think is pretty good. But that is going to do it for me. Again, a lot of great deals under the price of $20. Check them out for yourself in the description box below. Links to everything as always there. Thank you for watching. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.